Vesta, Lynda, and Noreen, thanks for coming to Monte Rio, and we had a great turnout, so I really appreciate your interactions and your honesty. I'm going to read this, but it'll be pretty quick. Can everybody hear? This is not too good. Okay. Governor Brown just signed into law the nation's strictest plan to cut emissions. Part of this law is to reduce black carbon emissions by offering rebates to continue a steady shift away from residential wood-burning stoves. So I assume this is rebates probably for high-efficiency heat pumps. Locally, possibly it could be through PG&E, Sonoma Clean Power, or the government. In our area, we have very limited air regulations, such as no spare the air days, the ability to have open residential burning, and our county offers rebates to keep and upgrade burning stoves instead of getting rid of them. What is your stance on air quality, and what are your plans to improve our air quality and get Sonoma County on board with the rest of the state? Thank you.
So I am very passionate about air quality, and having just driven through various parts of the Russian River Valley, it's a huge issue. On days when we've got an inversion layer, you can smell it, you can breathe it. Children with asthma often experience exacerbated symptoms based upon wood burning. Yet we also face the same problem with wood-burning stoves that we do with septic systems, where some people rely on wood stoves as their sole source of heat, and the wood is free because it's on their property. So we have the same kind of thing where there's an environmental good that we all believe in. It's what sort of the tragedy of the commons, right? Everyone wants their cute little wood stove and their cute little fireplace, but when you add it all together, it leads to reduced air quality. So how do we balance essentially, that need for the commons with the reality that we do have a lot of fixed income residents who may rely on this for their sole source of heat? I am very excited that Governor Brown has signed that bill into law. I think that, what we need to do is go out there and regulate, greenhouse gas emissions as well as other particulate matter in our atmosphere. But I would like to sort of start with the carrot rather than the stick, given the state of the lower Russian River, which is that someone mentioned it's one of the last vestiges of affordable housing in Sonoma County. And we do have a lot of people who are, relying on this as their way of heating their house. So, I think that continuing those subsidies, encouraging and trying to help homeowners to transition away from wood-burning stoves, or also into more efficient models, that sort of burn less, sort of more cleanly. I think different pellet stoves, and there are some things that are kind of EPA approved that you can buy at local stores, I know. So, so I guess I would say that if I had to choose between, let's implement a ban on all of this versus let's not do that. Let's work with the homeowners. Let's try to, provide subsidies and try to incentivize the good behavior that we want to see. I also think that, public education is really important, and actually doing air quality monitoring and letting people know, what is the air quality in the Russian River Valley right now. And when you look at the scales and it kind of tells you, okay, here's where, people with asthma start to experience symptoms. Here's where, there are, I think, ways of educating the public that will also incentivize better behavior. So I would look forward to basically working with the public as much as possible to achieve clean air, but I don't want to come in and steal all of the wood-burning stoves, because some people really do truly rely on them to heat their homes. So, do you have more information that would, yeah.
The point is the state is trying to incentivize giving
Okay,
money
great.
for high-efficiency heat pumps.
Great.
And the county, meanwhile, is giving money to continue wood-burning stoves.
Okay.
So when is the county going to get on board and get more progressive?
Gotcha. Okay. Then I would absolutely, sorry, I missed the sort of nuance of the conversation, I'm sorry. But absolutely, I think that we should get on board with more progressive options. If there is money available, by all means, let's educate the public and get it out there. So thank you for clarifying the question.
Yes, the county does need to get working on this, and I believe what you're talking about is SB 32 that the governor just signed, which was the follow-up to AB 32, which, as your representative in the state legislature, I co-authored. And I want to mention that clean air is not an academic issue to me. 2 out of my 3 children have asthma. I know. I saw this math problem today.
And one of mine.
I saw this math problem today on Facebook that was intentionally unintelligible and unsolvable. So I'm going there. Anyway, 2 of my 3 children have asthma. And particulates in the air from wood-burning fireplaces and stoves is what sets them off. So I have worked with the American Lung Association and many other organizations to do what we can to clean up our air locally. One of the things that some jurisdictions have done that I think Sonoma County should do is, I don't necessarily agree that we should just use a carrot, because a carrot does not work, and we have long experience with that. We know it doesn't work, so sometimes we have to mandate things. And what we can do is when a home is sold to a new owner, we can require a wood-burning stove or a wood-burning fireplace to be adapted so that it is cleaner. It's burning something cleaner. So that's one of the ways that we can do that as a community. But I think your question is a good one. Sonoma County is behind on a whole host of things. We're behind on this. We're behind on regulating cannabis. We should be ahead of the curve on that one. We currently have the ability to regulate and tax medical marijuana. We have not been doing that. We know that the Adult Use of Marijuana Act is coming up on the ballot in November, and yet we have not moved to adopt regulations before that takes effect. So Sonoma County has a whole lot of work to do in a whole lot of areas, and this is a really important one that I would be dedicated to work on.
Article on how to build a fire, because most people don't know how to build a fire, and it really makes a difference. And I heat with wood, so the clean stove and how to build a fire makes a huge difference.